Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So tonight I'm going to try and do a pour with ribbons. So one of the people that I've been watching on YouTube is, I hope I get this name pronounced right, Chris Jeszeck. She does the pours with the ribbons and I really like them. I've only done one before and it turned out okay, but I've been watching a few more and I hope I can do this justice. So I'll put a link to Chris Jesseck's page in the description so you can see how she does them. I got different products because I'm in Australia and she's, I believe, in America. So I'm going to do my best to do it justice. So the colours that I have is going to be black, silver and turquoise. And I hope I've got enough paint. I'm a little bit nervous that I don't, but I wasn't too sure. This is, I'm using a square canvas. So it's 14 inch by 14 inch. And I don't normally use this size canvas. So I'm still figuring that part out. So these are marte paints. So I'll get the silver one up so you can see. So marte acrylic. This one's the silver, so that's the turquoise and the black. They're all the same. Opaque, and semi-transparent, or semi-opaque, whichever way you want to say it. And I have them mixed with my Elmer's Clear Glue 70%, water 30% mixture. So it is this glue, and I have 70% glue, 30% water. So I fill it up to a certain level, add the other mixture, and then I give it a really, really good shake. It gets full of little tiny bubbles. And then I leave this to sit for at least a few days. But I think you can use it after about 12 hours, but I let it sit for a few days. So all the bubbles come out and it just looks clear again. So that's the pouring medium that I use, because that's easy for me to be able to get here. Some of the others are quite difficult for me to find. So my mixtures are, I was going to do them all even, but the consistency of these three colours was really, really different in each one. So the turquoise is 60 grams paint and 70 grams pouring medium. The black is 40 grams paint and 60 grams pouring medium. And the silver is 50 grams paint and 85 grams pouring medium. So the silver still looks a little bit thicker than the other two, but being a metallic, I think it needs to be a little bit thicker. But I'm not going to know exactly for sure until I actually start pouring. I haven't used this silver a lot, so I'm still working it all out. This is a really major test run to see if I can actually do this pour and whether what I've got is going to be thick enough or thin enough to keep its shape. I didn't want too much black because I don't want the black to take over. So it's all a little bit of a test run here. So I got a little bit of dust. So I have a large 16 Oz cup. I don't know how many mils or whatever that is. So I got a bit of dust in there. I'm just using it and hoping it's enough. What's happened? I must have dropped it because it's got a little bit of dust. Okay. So I'm going first colour in, last colour out. So I'm going to go a little bit of turquoise. Not too much at the beginning. And then just going to tilt it to the side a little bit. And then I'm going to put some silver in. And then a little bit of black. Not too much black at the bottom, I don't think. I don't want the black to take over, which it has a tendency to do. So the black next to the turquoise should be okay because the turquoise isn't opaque. Hopefully it keeps the black behaving. And I am just going to keep pouring these in, increasing the amount I pour in. Right, turquoise is sinking compared to the black. Which shows me it's slightly different consistency. So what I'm going to do is do a pour, leave some that's in the cup behind, and then use that to do some ribbons. Yeah, definitely that turquoise is sinking. Hopefully it all turns out. That's all I can... When you do practice runs or test runs, that's really all you can do, is just do what you can and hope for the best. So because I'll be saving the bottom of the cup for the ribbons, that's why I wanted to put the turquoise and the silver at the very bottom, because I don't really want black ribbons. I'm hoping more for turquoise and silver ribbons. Hoping. Can only do what I can do. And if this turns out great, excellent. If it doesn't, back to the drawing board, as they say. Yeah, so the black is kind of, the silver and the turquoise are kind of sinking a little bit into the black. So I'm not sure if that's, usually it means that the consistency's slightly out. It's hard when you've got paints that are slightly different in their consistency levels. And the silver being metallic, they're harder to judge. Metallics can take a little bit of practice to get used to, and I usually have my measurements worked out with certain pours that I've done, when I haven't done this enough to actually have the measurements worked out good enough yet. Now, because this is a glue mixture, I am going to have to torch, because I will have bubbles in there. Paint on my hands, I shouldn't have done that. Alright, gloves on. So I'm really hoping I do have enough paint. I may just have to stretch it more than I would if I was doing, say, a flip cup. So we'll just have to go with it, I think. Now I'm going to pour out of... what side? You know what, I'm going to pour out of the opposite side to what I did. So it looks like the middle. Yes, it is very black at the moment. Hopefully that will change as we go. Sometimes it looks quite dark, and then when you start stretching it, the colours start showing up more. Okay, now I'm going to do a few larger ribbons. And save the rest for some little ribbons. I hope this is going to look good. It's all I can do is hope for the best. Those larger ribbons came out a little bit darker than I had thought they would be. And my tray is a little bit small for this, so I'm going to have to be careful whereabouts I tip my paint off. Oops. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go close to the edges without going over just yet. That's this black. I have a love-hate relationship with this black. It just seems to always want to be a bully. So I'm going to start going over the edges now, starting with this side, over and back. Now I'm going to go over this way, over and back, kind of losing my ribbons that I've done so far. Now this side, over and back. And now the last corner. Over and back. Sorry if I'm off camera, I'm just trying to get my paint to move back to the middle. So that's a little bit better, not as dark. It's looking a little bit more how I wanted it to. But I do want ribbons. I'm actually going to stretch it a little bit more. This corner's a little bit too plain, so I'm going to go all the way to this corner. And then come back. That should stretch out these colours that I have in there a little bit better. Yeah, that's a bit more better. It's taken more of the black away and kind of added more turquoise and silver into it. My ribbons were mostly gone anyway, so I wasn't going to be able to keep those. You could still see a couple. As you can see, I have not been doing ribbon pours for a long time. The more you practice at something, the better you will become. So just keep that in mind. Now, this is going to be quite dark. More darker than I would have preferred. So we're just going to start off the canvas and then just run it across. Don't know if that was really the shape I wanted. That was naughty. That came out as a drip, not a drizzle. Looks like I may The turquoise is sinking, so it's making it quite dark. So I'm not going to add more. I do love this center part. And you can see the drizzles, they're kind of cool, but they've come out a little bit more darker because like even one of these that went across was quite turquoise at first, and so was one that went over here, but it's kind of sank and left the black sitting up high. So I don't think it's worth me adding more because they're probably just going to come out too dark. I'm going to give it a little blowtorch, get rid of some of these bubbles. I wonder, I don't know if this is going to be, might not be enough paint. What I'm doing off camera is just seeing if I've got any more silver and turquoise in my cups that I can add to each other to see if I can do a ribbon or two with this. Sorry that you can't see what's going on camera. Alright, let's just try this. See if I can get a couple of little ribbons. Just have to make sure there's enough paint there that it does a ribbon and not a drip. So even that is kind of sinking a little bit. Yeah. Not quite enough to do proper ribbons, but it is still sinking. I'm going to move just a little bit more paint to the edge. See if I can just get a tiny little ribbon. Okay. It looks a little bit silly at the moment, but it's going to sink and it's kind of going to look a little bit like them. So hopefully that won't look too silly. That's better. Sinking a bit more now. Alrighty. I like this, but it's not what I was actually trying to achieve. I was trying to achieve proper ribbons, like what I see Chris get. She does really awesome ribbons. So I'm going to try this again another time, but I'm going to leave a lot. I might just add a little bit of black just to give us some contrast. But it has given me some cool effects. I don't know what you guys can see through the camera, because sometimes the camera makes my paintings really dark. Let me see if I can see. It's still darkish through the camera. Well, I will pause it and I'll bring you down for a close-up so we can actually see what I see. Okay, so have we got the whole thing in? Yeah, there we go. So that's what I see. So it's not completely as dark as what it looked like up the top there. You've definitely got turquoise running through here. I love this like streak over here with this center's beautiful. You can see my little line that I did, but a lot of it did sink through. It's still quite good. I quite like it, but it's not what I set out to achieve. So I'll watch more of Chris's videos. I'll try and figure out to see what mixture I need to make to adapt it to Australian products, because that's what it's all about sometimes, is learning what products you've got and changing your consistencies up. But let's go have a close-up with my reflection in the background. So as you can see, it's definitely got streaks. It's not as dark as what it looks through the camera sometimes. There is turquoise and silver going through it. Camera's not picking the colour up, the turquoise up as good as it could. But this centre looks pretty cool. It's very, I don't know, unusual shaped. It's half sunk but half didn't sink. There's some of my lines and my reflection. There's these little drizzles that I did later on. But yeah, still looks interesting, but not what I had set out to achieve. But I do hope you like this pour anyway. It's a little bit late at night. I had to go out to my garden event, so I wasn't able to stay at home and do pours. So this is my late night one before I head off to sleep. So I hope you liked it, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. All right, have a good night, everybody. Bye. Oh, and share, like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think. All right, bye.